Hi. Today I want to talk about the financial considerations for changing your career. Been working on a post that I want to share with you and then break it down, talk about it for a couple minutes. So, money is the number one reason why people unhappy with their careers stay in their line of work year after year. In many cases, the career is actually chosen in the first place because it pays well. And this causes a couple different problems. One is that high-paying jobs tend to be the most challenging and stressful jobs. Think along the lines of corporate executives, lawyers, sales reps, doctors, that kind of thing. The other problem is that making a career change from a high-paying job runs a much greater risk of moving into a line of work that could require a pay cut. Of course, the upside is that you're likely to enjoy your work much more, but what does that mean for your new lifestyle? In the short term, there's a good chance that you'll have to deal with a drop in income, and you have to ask yourself if you're okay with that. You'll have to determine if being less stressed and more engaged in meaningful work is worth changing some of your plans for the future. Are you okay with putting off those plans to buy a new house? Could be one. And this is where the rubber hits the road. This is also where it's important to consider the big picture. Over the long haul, your chances of being very successful in your chosen profession clearly are much better when your work is in alignment with what you do best and who you are as a person. Are you okay with sacrificing a short-term drop in income for a longer-term win? In my case, I decided that yes, I am 100% okay with a drop in my income as a result of changing my career from tech sales to starting a business as a coach. Now, the reason I was okay with this was because I realized that I'll be working for at least another 30 years. And while I was making good money in sales, I knew that there was a ceiling to how much money I would make as a result of my heart not being in it. I just wasn't willing to do what was required to get to the next level. I just didn't care enough, and I knew that sooner or later that was going to be a problem. I also knew that people who are very passionate about what they do tend to experience great success. Some examples include people like Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, Elon Musk. There's a lot of examples of people like this. Now, the only caveat is that it can take time to achieve that longer lasting success. In my case, I knew that I had the patience and the appropriate circumstances, savings, etc., in order to take that chance. So, how about you? Are you willing to take a chance so you can achieve lasting happiness and success in your career? If you think you are, then let me know. I'd be happy to speak with you about your options. So that's it. Money. It's a big issue, right? We all care a lot about money. Money is important. We have to pay the bills, right? Some of us have families, some of us have mortgages, the rest of us have rent to pay. We want to have a particular lifestyle. We want to go on vacations. We want to have a nice car. We want to have a nice home. We want to be able to buy things, right? I don't want to kid you here and say that meaningful work and job satisfaction is the only thing that matters. That's not true at all, right? So whenever I'm working with a client, we end up having the money conversation, right? And so that fits in with the rest of the process of figuring out what type of work will be most meaningful and realistic, right? And everybody's different. Some people care more about money than others. So that's partly a personal thing, but also factored into the equation. Now, with the money thing, we can also fall into this trap of thinking short term, right? So short term, if you're in a high paying position, and you're looking to do something more fulfilling, well, you do run the chance of taking a pay cut. And that might be a really hard thing to grapple with because you worked hard to get to that level of income and you enjoy your lifestyle. You do have plans for the future, right? So So what the hell, Adam? You telling me to take a pay cut just so I can like my work more? Not exactly, right? So the idea is to put you in a position to be most successful, right? It's just that when I'm talking to people about money and their careers, I'm thinking of it more in a long-term kind of way, right? So it's my job to help people see the big picture, which is that retirement is a long ways away. You've got 30 plus years left to work. Let's talk about that 30-year period and how much money you're going to make over the next 30 years, right? Now, you could be at a particular level right now, and you might have opportunities for investment. Everyone has chances to get promoted and make more money, right? But what if your heart's not in it? What if you don't love your work? You know, that's going to be a problem at some point. Just like for me, when I was in sales and my heart wasn't in it, well, I'm sorry, I just wasn't going to be the person who gets in super early and stays really late and is just really passionate about learning the technology that I'm selling and understanding the ins and outs of my customer. I didn't have the passion. Other guys did, and they were killing it. They were making tons of money, right? They enjoy the work, so they're where they should be, right? But if you're not where you should be, there's going to be a ceiling. There's going to come a time when they're talking about, all right, who should we promote? Who's got management potential? And they go, oh, I don't know, Charlie. I don't know if his head's really in it. He doesn't seem to be really going for it these days. Well, that's going to happen, right? That's going to be an obstacle. Now, let's say you changed careers into something that you're really excited about, and you're excited to get out of bed in the morning, show up to work, and let's say you're working in something related to the environment, and you're reading everything that you can about environmental causes, and you're joining groups that are associated with environmental activism, and you're networking, and you just love this stuff, right? You just can't get enough of it. Well, what do you think is going to happen over the course of your career if now all of a sudden you loved your work, you're excited to get to work, and you're really good at it because you found a type of work that aligns with your unique talents and gifts? Well, I would say that you're going to be much more likely to have great success much greater than you ever would have experienced in your previous line of work, even if that previous line of work was a high-paying position, right? So there are many opportunities for you to advance in a new career, and think about how much faster you're going to advance as well, whether that's moving up within the ranks or starting your own business and growing that business. Over the long haul, the money part is going to be solved, right? So money and income and compensation, this is in exchange, a fair exchange for value, right? How much value are you able to provide in the marketplace? Well, if you're kind of so-so about your job, how much value do you think you're really going to be providing versus you're excited about what you do, right? If you really enjoy your work and you're putting in extra effort and you're going the extra mile and you're just really into it, and it's bringing your whole personality to the table, and it's leveraging all of your strengths and skills and interests and all of these things, how much more value do you think you're going to ultimately provide to the end customer, to your company, to your coworkers, whomever? The answer is a lot more. So I want to leave you with that. I want you guys to just consider what it means to go from giving it 70% on a good day to 100%. Over the long term, what is that going to mean for your compensation, for what you're ultimately able to make for yourself? And that's it. If you guys are interested in learning more about this or having a conversation about this, shoot me a note and be happy to chat. But that's a little bit on the money piece.